Bailakuppe comprises of two Tibetan refugee settlements that was set up in 1961 and 1969 respectively. It has now grown into a full-fledged town housing the largest Tibetan population outside of Dharamshala in India. It feels pleasantly like I have walked into a place that is peaceful and tranquil, almost hill station-like. The monastery building appears on the horizon one by one, and its distinctive shape is remarkably different from all other buildings in the area. The Tashi Limpu Monastery is the seat to the Panchen Lama, the second most important spiritual leader of Tibet, after the Dalai Lama himself. Currently, there are over 300 monks in the monastery, with an average of 25 arriving each year. Today is a special day for everyone present here because a new abbot has been enthroned today. The service was a magnificent tribute and joyous occasion following the ancient traditions and rituals passed down from Tashi Limpu Monastery in Tibet. The abbot led the service by taking the seat on his throne for the first time. A grand enthronement ceremony and celebration took place in the main temple where monks and guests presented katha to the abbot. It is my privilege that I was there on the day you were anointed abbot. You are someone who grew up in this area, who went to study and came back. Tell me about your journey.
His entire journey so far, right from the time he was born in '83, and thereafter he went to Gandhi for his primary studies. His main seat is here in Tashi Limpu, so of course he came here and he was recognized here and enthroned here. For 20 years, in 2010 is when he came here to Tashi Limpu Monastery, and he's been leading a lot of the teachings for the younger monks and taking that as his core responsibility. At the end of the last year, he was recognized as the abbot and given that responsibility as well.
You also mentioned that one of the things that you enjoyed or you are constantly working on is about education and about bringing kids into the education as well. Can you tell me more about that?
Kiramchi is outlining about how, the core emphasis has really been, of course, educating and, taking, leading the younger ones in prayer and teaching them and all of that. But he believes that, he has a core responsibility of taking the core Buddhist philosophies and the tenets to not just the youth and to not just, Buddhists, but to all sentient beings. The values and the teachings that have been imbibed, that we have taken this tradition from the Nalanda tradition onwards. That's something that he holds very dear, and he believes that that's his core responsibility, which he will carry with him throughout. And of course, he will look at other opportunities as well, wherein in terms of dialogue that he can have with others, and the youth as well as with others. And that's something that he'll carry with him.
Getting across to them through education. Thank you so much, Khemrim Ponche. It was an absolute pleasure being with you on the day you were anointed abbot, taking your blessings and interacting with you. It was an absolute pleasure. My meal experience today at the Bailakuppe Monastery was probably one of the most sattvic meal experiences. And what I mean by sattvic is a meal completely vegetarian, no onion, no garlic. And I was intrigued to know more, so I got talking to the person sitting next to me, and she told me they make this particular soup on their Losar, which is New Year. It's called Guthuk, which is a soup, and I'm going to be making that today. Some oil first, some chopped ginger once the oil is hot, So when the ginger is getting cooked, I'm going to be adding tomatoes. I'm adding celery and mushroom because this is a vegetarian soup. I'm going to be adding some salt now. Sehat anusar. I've got radish, carrot and beans. Add a little soya sauce. Add some water and just let it boil for some time. In the meantime, I'm going to be making batsa, as it is called in Tibetan. I've got a dough made here using all-purpose flour, salt, oil and water. And just pinch them as small as possible that it forms a gnocchi-ish sort of shape. Now I'm going to be making a bigger one, that's the ball, and that's where the excitement for kids and families who sit around and have the guthuk, that's when it kicks in for them, because what happens is they would normally write on a slip of paper anything. It could be wool, it could be salt, it could be coal, and all of this is actually something that describes a particular person's personality. I'm going to be writing Dakshin Diaries. Putting this right in the center. So I've got my the smaller dumplings that I made here, the noodles. I'm going to be adding that. The way you would know the dumplings are well cooked is it would soak in all the juices and it'll start coming to the top of the broth. I hope making this soup will bring in all the positivity in your lives. This is my little tribute to Bailakuppe and some of the fabulous food that I've experienced here.